score.
The big goal is coming up.
Peter Schmeichel is forward.
Can he score another in Europe? He's got one in Europe already.
Beckham. In towards Schmeichel. It's comfort to White York. Cleared. Giggs with a shot. Sheringham! Name on the trophy. Teddy Sheringham, with 30 seconds of added time play, has equalised.
That's right. Hello and welcome to the Saintly Sounder, your source for all things FIFA. In case you hadn't already guessed, today we are doing a legend review, and that legend is the always smiling Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspurs, and Portsmouth legend, Teddy Sheringham. Here are his card stats. His 86 shooting is the dominant thing. I would say it feels like 90. It is really that good. His pace feels a little slower than that in-game, and his dribbling is quite dreadful. Here is the squad I started him in. He would play 4 games in this squad with Kandreva and El Shawari. I wanted to get services because I know how good he is in the air. It didn't work out very well. He ended up scoring 2 goals in his first 5 games. Here is his second squad that I put him in here. Guarin's in. I think Jesus might actually be in for Chiellini here because I'm running another hybrid. It gets all quite confusing. He did a little better in this formation, but still I don't think this formation is viable post-patch. Here are his key stats. Now, if these 5 stats are all you look for in a striker, and the other stats don't really matter to you, then you're going to like Teddy Sheringham. If not, you might have problems. So he did average 1.3 points in 10 games. Regardless of any conclusions I come to at the end of this video, that is still an impressive number. The video clips will show his strengths, but also keep in mind there are still some weaknesses that I'll go over at the end. This first clip is the epitome of Teddy Sheringham. He gets a half chance here. Vieri finds him, and he just turns his body in a ridiculous way. There aren't many strikers in this game capable of doing just that. I mean, if you try it with a guy like Inform Aubameyang or even Royce, a lot of the time, it's going 40 feet over the bar. But here he just finds the composure, and then he beats the keeper. That's what Teddy Sheringham is, and if you want that and that only, he's going to be really good for you. So here's the best clip I could find of him dribbling at full speed. Most of the time he did really fall over, but here my opponent makes a horrible mistake and can never even get close to put any pressure on him. He does a good job of finding Vieri, and he also makes my opponent quit, which was nice. His passing skills are on display in this clip as he holds up the ball quite nicely before finding Vieri. 70 passing might be the cutoff you personally have for playing a striker at center attacking mid, but I wouldn't recommend it with him. He's decent, but he's not great at it. These are the goals that are really vintage Teddy Sheringham. Giglio does all the work. It's just one step, so I don't have to dribble too much with him, and then he curls it into the far post with the outside of his foot. You don't see many of these crazy outside of the foot curving shots in FIFA 15, but Teddy Sheringham is the one guy that really seems to have that motion down. He just feels so solid when shooting from long range. You can always count on it to be close. And here he is using his striker instinct to pick the ball off of the defender. I mean, it's nothing too spectacular, but you would be surprised how many forwards actually miss those opportunities. And his shot power means that oftentimes you're going to leave the keeper standing. And if a keeper isn't diving, he isn't going to save the ball. Here he just blasts it over. I mean, I get fortunate with the bounce, but Sheringham's there. That's the important thing about him. I don't ask too much of him on the dribble, but he gets the job done. And again, this is another huge strength of Teddy Sheringham, is crosses. He actually sets up on the near post, which Christian Vieri doesn't, and he does not disappoint. He is the best header of the ball I've used in-game. He feels so solid. It reminds me of FIFA 14, to be honest. He never feels like he's going to miss. Anytime I didn't score on a corner with him is my fault. I didn't hit him in the right way. If you get it to him, he's going to score you goals from corners, and that's a real asset, and it can't be understated how important that is on your team. Again, here my opponent makes a boneheaded move, but it's up to Sheringham. Watch his movement. This is what really sets him apart, in my opinion, is his movement. He's always in the right place at the right time. There's not many strikers that feel that way in game. So if that's what you're also looking for, you're going to like him. Again, his off-the-ball movement is fantastic. Keep an eye on him at the bottom of your screen here and watch the run he makes to be able to pick up this goal. That isn't entirely common, and that's what you're going to get from Teddy Sheringham, is a striker with a nose for goal. He absolutely excels when plays break down. Here the ball just falls to his feet and he puts it over the defender. I can't say enough about his off-the-ball positioning. It's just perfect. Again, here he is capitalizing on my opponent's mistake 55 yards away. Can he do it? Of course he can, because it's on his right foot. There you go. Teddy Sheringham from 55 yards. His long shots are so crisp, so clean. Every one of them feels like it's going to be dangerous. It has a crazy dip swerve animation that not many strikers have. Guarin, it's just too driven for me. You need a little dip action, and that's exactly what Teddy Sheringham has. It's absolutely ridiculous. Despite all this, I can't recommend him. All of his goals were the result of hard work by other guys. He's clumsy when he tries to do it on his own. He's going to fall over a lot if he's even touched. And because he falls over, he's going to get hurt quite often. His pace definitely feels lower on the card. I'd say it's around a 73 if I were to guess. He's just not going to sprint by anyone. Even the slower defenders, he's not going to get by them. He's not worth the price tag despite all the beautiful goals he scores. I want a guy for $250,000 to be able to create on his own and finish. Teddy Sheringham's got the finishing part down. Probably the best striker I've used in-game. But unfortunately, he doesn't create for himself, and that really costs the rest of my team. He's not going to bully people around. He's not going to sprint by, dribble by. You really have to get him the ball. And that's going to cost you in other ways. Your other strikers just aren't going to profit as much if Teddy Sheringham's on the field. I mentioned his strengths in the clip, so I'm just going to jump straight ahead to the final analysis. I give him an 8 out of 10. 1.3 points per game is what he managed me. His pace, I give him a 7 out of 10 because it does feel like a 70 pace guy. In range with about Adebayor, where you're going to need a broken play to get a breakaway with him. Shooting, 9.5 out of 10. He's better than Christian Vieri, my so far highest shooter in that aspect. When he's on his right, he's absolutely deadly. His weak foot isn't bad either. It's got a lot of power behind it. His passing, I give it a 7 out of 10. It's good, but not great. Don't play him at center attacking mid. He's average. He's not going to miss, but he's also not going to find the amazing through ball. His dribbling is dreadful. He doesn't have any of the shimmy magic that Vieri had. If you're going to try to make an 11-man run through a guy, you're going to be disappointed. Physicality, I give him an 8 out of 10 surely because of corners. His jumping ability makes him the best corner kick header in the game. Intangibles, I give him a 6 out of 10 because, as I mentioned, I felt like he made my team worse, unfortunately, because he just requires so much attention to be good. Alright, so if you found this helpful, insightful, interesting, nostalgia-filled, like and subscribe. You can also follow at the Red Death 329. Until next time, thanks.